So, I'm kind of at a loss for words on this one. Like, honestly, the 2-year anniversary stuff looks really cool. And I'm glad that they're giving away a lot of free multis and stuff like that, especially on like a seasonal banner where you can't get those characters very often. They're doing a lot of things right. But the new Bond is too good. Like, I know that a lot of people kind of said the same thing about Escanor, or at least I guess people who were, thinking clearly, because I mean, I know it's easy to get, caught up in the hype of like, hey, brand new character, like this is a hype character, everybody likes this character, blah 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 blah. People love the one Escanor. I personally thought that Escanor was a little too strong. I mean, I know that he's the one Escanor, but from a game standpoint, the characters need to be balanced, and there needs to be some sort of law and order there. At this point, I think the meta has sort of shifted. Escanor is still top meta. He's still I want to say the top team is definitely the one Escanor, Goddess Liz, Green Gother, and then Lost Fane in the back. It is what it is. There are obviously decent teams in the meta right now that can counter Escanor. They can still win. It's not completely like a lost cause every time you go against Escanor, which when he first came out, it was kind of just like a, hey, everyone's using Escanor. It's basically just going to be like a CC battle. If you beat their CC and you get better card draw, you win. That's just kind of how it goes. But with this new Bond, he's absolutely ridiculous. The fact that the new Arthur is like already helping make humans very tanky and deal a lot of damage, and then the way that the new Bond is set up, it's just ridiculous, man. Like I know a lot of people wanted the new Bond unit to be good. Bond needs a good unit. I'm not trying to debate that. Bond really did need a decent unit, but the fact that he is so overpowered that people are on people are on the subreddit. People are like scrambling, trying to find an off meta team that can at least compete against this unit, and nobody can come up with anything. I know it's still pretty early. Hopefully that something ends up happening or coming out or whatever the case may be that can help fight this man. But the fact that it's almost like they just didn't test this thoroughly, or they were like, okay, looks good, throw it on the live servers. Like, how do you let something this crazy hit the server and just be like, looks good? Like with Valenti, like with Mark II Valenti, whenever she first got shown off and everything like that, they had to nerf her skills before she came to the live version of the game. And I think this was a case where that may have needed to happen. Obviously, they have dug a hole now where the character is officially out. He's he's in the game. People have already summoned for him. They've spent their gems. They've done their thing. So there's really no going back at this point. They're either going to have to nerf him, which they're almost it's like a 99% chance, probably 99.99% chance that they're not going to nerf him. Like, it just is what it is. I think that they've just they've released him. They've said, okay, he's good, whatever. He's on the game. He's whatever. It's already happened. Obviously, I think the best scenario would be that they nerf him a little bit. Obviously, you don't have to nerf him much. Just make him to where he's still good, but not absolutely broken. And then maybe they would probably have to compensate the JP and Korean players for summoning for a character that then gets nerfed. Obviously, that's just kind of how that whole scenario would kind of play out. But I would rather they nerf him and make him like a balanced sort of unit, or even just like a really good unit instead of a broken unit, before he comes out on global and absolutely destroys the meta like he's absolutely doing right now on JP and Korea. Then it be it's just going to make it to where players aren't going to want to play PvP at this point. Like, if they can't come up with a way to counter this guy, the only thing that I've seen that could possibly counter him is running Amelia. who is it? It's like Amelia, Gother, and Goddess Liz, just so that way you can try to immobilize him long enough to where you can actually whittle him down and kill him. And that is such a toxic sort of team comp that you have to put together just to counter this one unit. Like, that is ridiculous. And I mean, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not like a god tier player. I don't even, I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time when it comes to certain things. But this is not, there's no way that this is good for the game. People are already super iffy about PvP because it's very, very meta driven. People have either stopped playing PvP completely and they just do it for their dailies, or, they just use the top meta teams because it's all that works. And when this character comes out on the global version of the game, and I'm sure, if anybody in their right mind on JP and Korea are seeing how he's doing, they're going to summon for him and they're going to use him. Like, that's just how it is. Like, there's no point in playing in a meta without the meta characters if they can't fight the meta. Like, that's just common sense. So I don't know what to say here. Like, I already don't like the PvP in this game very much. Like, it is fun every once in a while, especially if I can find an off-meta sort of team, or there's just a team that I'm really interested in that ends up doing okay. I don't mind using them. I do like Assault Mode Meliodas and stuff like that, but this guy's going to shred Assault Mode, so I basically stand no chance. You would think the fact that the new Bon is a red unit would be like, okay, they wanted Escanor to be able to compete against him, but when you pair him with Arthur and he's got almost 600,000 HP, and then he can get buffs and heal himself, etc., and you can literally ult him with the one Escanor and it not kill him along with other Escanor cards, and he still not die. Like, I mean, what are you supposed to do about that? Like, there's really nothing you can do. So, of course, it's just going to end up becoming the sort of like the meta thing to do, where new unit comes out that's supposed to counter said unit, or whatever the case may be. They're just going to pair them both together, and then you've got two unstoppable units on the same team, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, I mean, as far as I can tell, it seems like the most popular team that people are using with him on, the JP and Korean versions of the game it's Bon, Arthur to buff his HP, and then the one Escanor. So, I mean, what are you going to do about that? Like, I've watched the PvP videos of him already, and he can literally, like, turn one with bronze cards, like ranked 1 cards, or if you get lucky and you get the merge, and you get a rank 2 card, like, you're doing over half HP to these insanely, like, crazy units. Like, the one Escanor is, like, below half HP turn 1 from a single card, and it's mind-boggling. Like, how did that guy get past testing and they were like, okay, looks great? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And not to mention the whole, like, ultimate thing. I talked about it in the patch notes whenever he was, announced and everything like that, and I was looking over his skills, and I seen the fact that, hey, once he hits 6/6 ult, he gets Rupture on his ultimate. I said I hope he gets a Rupture at least before 6/6, and it's not just at 6/6 that he gets it, because they did the same thing with Hawk and Oslo, sort of, where Hawk and Oslo gets a whole additional turn of Banish on his ultimate whenever he hits someone, if his ultimate is completely maxed out. And this character, not this character, but the new Bon does the same thing, where he gets Rupture on his ultimate, which means that if you're going against another Bon and they're using their buff cards or whatever, like his blue card gives you blue buffs on top of your character, he can Rupture against that Bon and just absolutely destroy him. So even using the same character against himself, the whale's gonna win. Like, whoever gets lucky enough to pull 6/6 or spend enough money, they're gonna be the winner. And not to mention that this is literally just an ult rush unit. Like, you move a bunch of cards, you rush his ult, you get your ult, you win the game. Like, you kill all 3 players because you're dealing 1 million to upwards of 2 million damage on a single ultimate card. And you really can't do anything about that. Like, I mean, obviously you can use, like, dissolve skills and stuff like that, but that's only going to hold you off for so long, because, you're either going to end up running out of RNG and you're not going to pull the dissolve cards, or you're just not going to be able to beat him down in time because he's literally a tank. Like, he has a million HP. Like, how are you going to beat through that? So I don't know. I just kind of giving some thoughts, like personal opinions on the unit and everything like that. Like, obviously, he's going to be super crazy. A lot of people are going to want him. A lot of people are going to want to play with him. And I completely understand that. Like, you know, he is a really cool character. I love the design of him. I love the way he looks. I like the fact that he's, you know, Purgatory Bond. Like, everybody wanted Purgatory Bond. Here he is. He's finally here. But, like, balance the unit, please. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, obviously power creep was already a thing in the game, but when you come out with a unit that is leagues above like even the best units in the game right now, all of those regular units that were already power crept become basically useless in the PvP meta. Like, all of those characters are basically now PvE units that will be used for either niche PvE events or just whatever Bond can't take on by himself. So I don't like that. Obviously, a lot of players are pretty vocal on the subreddit and, you know, the various, you know, outlets for the game at the moment. So I really do hope that they look at that and try to reconsider or do something about it, because, you know, even with Chandler, I think they had to redo one of Chandler's skills. I think the way his stance card worked was a little too much. I really hope that they just take a look at this unit and revise the unit, or just like tweak him down a bit, like knock him down a peg, because although I do want the Bond to be good and I would love to, like, I'm gonna summon for him either way because I like Bond as a unit. Like, I don't give a shit if he's good, but, you know, I would rather the game stay healthy and be in a good state than one character come in and ruin the entire game for a lot of players. Like, it seems like a no-brainer, but I'm not a developer for the game, so I don't have a whole lot of room to talk, I guess. Either way, that's it. Those are my opinions on the unit. I would have put something more meaningful in the background, but I didn't want to just like steal somebody else's footage of PvP and everything like that. I always feel really weird about that kind of thing. So I don't know. Honestly, just go look up some PvP gameplay for him if you're a global player only, or you don't have him on JP or KR or whatever whatever you're playing. Just look at him. Like, I mean, you don't have to. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see how like crazy OP he is. So that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a little ranty, and I don't really like making videos like this, but this one seems too crazy not to at least voice an opinion on. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't want to like piss anybody off or anything like that. So hopefully you take my opinion with a grain of salt, because like I said, I'm not even really that big of a PvP player. I'm looking at more overall like game health, like state of the game sort of thing, than just him like ruining the PvP meta, because honestly, I'll just forfeit the match and move on with my day. Like, I mean, it is what it is for me. Like, I really don't care, but a lot of people play this game just for PvP. And if he's the guy that you gotta have, and you either don't pull him, or you can't get him, or everybody's wailing harder than you and you can't win with him, then, you know, it's gonna get to the point to where they're not gonna want to play PvP, and they're probably gonna leave the game. So, I mean, I don't know. From a gamer, from a player standpoint, it doesn't seem great. Other than that, that's all I've got. Like I said, let me hear your thoughts and opinions on the unit. I would like to hear how you guys actually feel about him. Obviously, a lot of people really like Purgatory Bond, and I completely understand that, but I don't think he needs to be absolutely, like, whacked, zonked out of his mind, like, able to destroy the entire team with a bronze card. So, yeah, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future and so on and so forth, and I'll see you guys in the next video.